Yeah.
So roughly $1 million. $1 million a year, right?
Right.
That's a big
Right.
business. That's a big business.
Not only for me,
I
because
know.
I have four person.
For sales
For
sales people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can.
But you need to. So your company has publishing or just cleaning.
Yeah.
That staff too.
Yeah.
So 4 staff, but 2 are sales, 2 are cleaning.
Not with me.
You don't clean it.
My mean the company.
Okay.
Belong 4 people.
Okay.
And I just for 1.
Okay.
So not all make for me.
Well, I know. So, but I think you can make at least half of it. At least half of it.
No. I guess maybe
30%.
20.
20%.
Yeah, 20%.
20%. You make 20%.
I make 20%. Yeah.
Wow, that's still lots of money. Morning. I don't think that, most Americans don't make that money. Doing great. Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. So you came to the States with your families?
Yeah.
That's good. Alright. My policy is that I can start the class when I have at least 2 students. Which means I can start right now, right?
I'm earlier.
People are coming late, I think. Yeah, they are coming late. All right. Well, we didn't finish the last class, so we want to just try to catch that up. So I think we did 3 out of 2 commandments last week. So this is the 3rd commandment. I'm going to just finish this as soon as possible, and then we're going to move on to the 3rd week schedule. All right, the 3rd commandment, God's word. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. That's the 3rd commandment. Remember the Sabbath. Sabbath nowadays it's a Sunday. Okay? We call Sunday, but Sabbath originally starts from Friday to Saturday. Friday evening to Saturday evening. Okay? Morning. How are you?
Oh, good.
Are you doing good?
Good.
Almost good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm
New here?
I'm sorry.
New here.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Can I have your name?
My name is Sinan.
You Sinan?
Sinan.
Sinan?
Yeah.
Like a Sinan?
S-I-N-A-N. Yeah. N.
And Sinan.
Yeah.
All right. That's your first name.
Yeah. First name.
Great. From where?
I'm from Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah. Actually, I just came here. I have been living in LA for 5 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you do for the last 5 months?
Yeah. It was perfect.
What did you do?
Because I'm a musician.
All right.
Music teacher.
All right. What do you teach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my best friend living in LA.
Do you work for MI?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you teach? Theory?
Piano, music theory,
Piano.
music harmony, and piano.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Sabbath in Jews in Israel that starts from Friday evening and then it ends on Saturday evening. So that is actually is that mine? I think I turned it off. Oh, that was mine. Sorry. That's what's called the Sabbath in Israel. In Israel, do you like Israel? You don't like? Okay. Because this class is for Christian formation with Martin Luther, the reformer. That happened in 1517, which means almost 500 years ago. And based on that, he wrote a book, small catechism, and we are just taking care of that. 10 Commandments. Have you ever heard about the 10 Commandments? Are you Muslim or?
Yeah.
Great. Do you go mosque on Friday evening?
Yeah, Friday, special day for
Yeah.
Muslim people.
Yeah, Friday evening.
Yeah, Friday.
For the worshiping and prayer, right?
Yeah.
Alright, great. I have one family. They go mosque on Friday evening and worship and pray and something like that. Okay. So in Israel, Sabbath means Friday evening and Saturday evening, cause Israel and Middle East, including Turkey, and they are actually one family, but their descendants are fighting each other and hating each other, or just getting along each other and something like that. So I think Friday evening, that is the traditional night for almost all Middle East people. So it's no wonder that even Islam, they go mosque on Friday evening for the worshiping and prayer. It's the same thing with Israel, even though you don't like Israel, but traditional wise, historical wise, that is what they like. The Friday evening, because it's not because they work 5 days, Monday through Friday, and they start from kind of Sabbath from Friday evening. It's not only because of it, but because that's the day they used to take a break and worship their God. So that's a Friday evening. Okay, actually the Sabbath is from Friday evening to Saturday evening, but nowadays we Christians and Catholics, even Greek Orthodox, they have service on Sunday. Because we are celebrating not the maybe I don't know, maybe not the Greek Orthodox or Catholics, but still we have worship on Sunday because we believe Jesus Christ resurrected on Sunday morning. Okay, so we are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So we have a service on Sunday. Anyway, Sabbath means this, but nowadays Sabbath, well, we can call Sabbath the Sunday. Okay, remember Sabbath day by keeping holy. So when we worship our gods, and whether that is Muhammad or you worship Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Buddha, or we have a Buddhist too. We have a Buddhist and Catholics and Christians in here. When we worship our God, whether that is Muhammad or God, Jesus, or the Buddha, or Shinto in Japan, But my mom, that's a water bucket, kind of a big water bucket. For two, she usually prepare 2 water buckets in a restroom. In Korea, the restroom is kind of a big. It's not only for something for the waste, but we wash and take a bath. Yeah, it's about the same. But my mom used to put prepare two kind of buckets or yeah, 2 buckets, and she usually put the 2 waters, kind of warm waters, and she used to call the first kid all the way through 4th. I'm the 3rd. 2 older sisters and 1 younger brother. That's how I have. And my mom called the first one, and she just washed my older sister. And the second one is supposed to soak the body in the second water, okay? And after she washed the first one, she can go, and the second one moved to the first one, and the third one is supposed to wait over here, sink. So she can wash and take the dead skins out easily. Then the first one, the second one goes to here, and I moved over here, and that water gets dirty. You know what I mean? Because my mom washed the first one and second one already in there, and my mom cleans them with this clean water. So when I move it over there, and my younger brother moves to the water bucket too, can you imagine how dirty it is? The water is dirty. I was in a clean water, but I had to move to the dirty water because that's the water bucket she washes. Take the dead skins out and put the soap, wash me with the soap and something like that. So it's a dirty water. And then after I move over there, to the room, finally, and usually she noticed that that water is too dirty because she washed 3 kids here already. And then she just changed this water with clean water. This bucket with clean water. And my younger brother can move to the clean water, and she washes here. That was our routine on Saturday night. Cleaning kids and washing the clothes on Saturday evening, it was my mom's routine. Cause we all had to go to church on Sunday next morning. So when I got a new shoes or new pants or new shirt, no matter what, if my mom bought the new stuff for our kids, for 4 of us, then we had to wait until Sunday morning. So let's say my mom bought kind of a new pair of shoes for me. I'm not supposed to wear that during the weekdays, but Sunday is the day I can wear the new shoes. Okay, on Sunday. That's the day. So Sunday is worshiping day. how people prepare the worshiping. Well, with my best knowledge, what do you do when you on Friday or whatever? When you go to mosque, how do you wash your body? You wash your back, right? You wash your
Actually,
back or something.
I've never been in mosque maybe 5 or 10 times in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You- Do you think that is good enough for your religious life?
No,
No, not at all, right?
sometimes.
Because I believe you used to practice playing piano.
Friday is a special day for me, but sometimes.
Yeah. What do you call Friday as a Sabbath? No?
No.
Okay. How do you call the Friday night then?
Sorry?
How do you call the Friday night in mosque? It's a
Uh,
Friday night?
Friday night.
That's it?
No special for
No
me.
special name
Yeah, only-
for Friday night?
Only.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with my best knowledge, I got a report in kind of a documentary when I was in Korea a long time ago, and when I watched that was kind of stunning and that was kind of new, because I had no idea what the Islam life or something like that. But when they go to mosque, they have to stop by the restroom so that they can wash their feet and wash their back, and then so in the restroom, the kind of private cabin section there, they have a special hose and they have to wash their back no matter what and feet. That's their ritual. When I visited the Great Temple, that's also called the Great Temple, that's Buddhist temple in Bangkok, I think 16 years ago, 14 years ago, 20 something years ago, there was a Buddhist monk in front of the temple, and he used to use kind of a special, that's kind of a bamboo stick like, but something, they're kind of a small thingy, and he just used to, get some water in there and pour people's hand, and all people have to wash their hands first, and that's it. And they have to get in the temple with bare feet, no socks, no shoes. So that's the ritualism. There are tons of kinds of rituals and traditions. They have to clean. The basic concept is cleaning. They have to clean their body. That's not all for the holy. Holy means that includes cleaning our body, but at the same time, just focus on the Sabbath and remember why and how we got the Sabbath day. Okay. In Christian and Catholics, including Catholics, we are believing that God is the creator, and when God created this earth and universe, God created all things for 6 days, and He took a rest on the seventh day. And then Jesus died on Friday. He caught on Thursday after the Last Supper. Michelangelo, I think Michelangelo, painted the Last Supper. And on Thursday, he caught and he got sent sentenced to death, and he died on Friday afternoon, around 3 p.m. And then he just spent in his tomb. We can count Friday, Saturday, and he got resurrected on Sunday. So we celebrate God's Sabbath, God's rest, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So washing our body and cleaning our body, get ready for it, and then get ready, focus on the Sabbath, and remember the meaning of the Sabbath. That means we can remember that God created, and God is the creator. And we remember that Jesus Christ died for us and resurrected on Sunday. And we thank for that. And that's how we keep the Sabbath day holy. And in addition to that, Christians keep the Sabbath holy by doing something good. No spelling out dirty words, but just respect and think and just reflect, our lives for the last 6 days and maybe where we usually repent and got forgiveness, which means absolution by priest, and that's how we keep the Sabbath holy. Okay, what does this mean? We should fear and love God. That's we are repeating, We should fear and love God so that we do not despise preaching and His word, but hold it sacred and gladly hear and learn it. Well, during the service and worship, we hear God's word through priests. Well, the Buddhist monk preach too. What about Muslim priests? Do they say something to people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or based on Quran?
Yeah, Quran.
Right. So that is the part of the service. I don't think that is the most important thing, because worshiping itself is great one. But at the same time we want to hear something from our priests, because that's the time we can hear God's word. Well, we read the Bibles or Qurans and Buddhist things, but at the same time we want to hear from the priest. That's the important part too. Okay. So when we hear priests preaching, we can remember God's word and we can focus on who God is and who Jesus is. And we can find the true meanings worshiping our God. Okay, what is the Sabbath day? I already explained that. Can you please read it? Yeah.
Okay. In the Old Testament, God set aside the seventh day as a required day of rest, and the verse for 6 days was it to be done. But seventh day shall be your holiday, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord.
Okay. That's the part I already explained. So Sabbath is for resting, and Sabbath is for worshiping. Okay, does God require us to observe the Sabbath and other holy days of the Old Testament? Can you please read it? The Sabbath.
Sabbath of the sun, pointing to Jesus, who is our rest. Since Jesus has come as our Savior and Lord, God no longer requires us to observe the Sabbath day and other holy days of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest.
Yeah. So Sabbath, the Sunday, you can call it, it's Sunday. Sunday is for resting. Well, honestly, when you read the Ten Commandments in Bible, it doesn't say that we have to worship the Lord. It didn't. God never ordered that. God ordered us to worship God, but He didn't designate the Sunday for worshiping. Okay, but He just focused on the resting actually. But when we rest, we want to worship the Lord. That's why we are worshiping God on Sunday. Well, it depends on what kind of religions we have. We can, we can worship on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Anytime we can do. But God is focusing on resting actually, because we need rest. Well, it's good to take a rest, right? But can you imagine that time, 2,000 years ago, or 3,000, 4,000 years ago? Resting is only for little people. Majority of people wore blue collars, which means they had to work with their hands and bodies. But the owners and kings and politicians, they were actually minors. They were few people of politicians and something like that. And lots of people had to work for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days even. They didn't have resting day, actually. If you have slaves, not employees, if you have slaves long time ago, do you want to allow your slaves to take a rest on Sunday? They didn't have that kind of concept at the time. So, slaves and blue collars, they had to work many hours a day for even 7 days. So ordering people take a rest on the Sabbath day, Sunday nowadays, that was a big blessing for the majority of people. And God is ordering that not only to the high class people, but to all people, even slaves, even animals. So that was great blessings to people. Because God ordered that, the employers and kings and politicians and high class people, they had to take a rest, and they had to let the normal people or slaves and animals take a rest too. So that's the biggest part. Does God require the church to worship together on any specific days? Hey, God requires Christians to worship together, yes. Some people, they don't want to go to church. They believe in God, they believe in Jesus Christ, but they don't go church because they don't like people. So they just worship the Lord by themselves in front of the computers or TVs. So in the United States, you don't see many pastors broadcasting their service and sermons much. You can still listen and watch. Still, okay? But that was really popular for 1960s, 70s, and even 80s. Because lots of people watched them on TV. When they got moved, they used to call and donate their money with their credit cards or by sending checks to the broadcasting company for supporting the pastors' preachings on TV channels. So lots of churches have TV channels. Even some churches have TV channels too. And we have religious channel, something like that on, I don't know, I forgot. It must be 18 point something or 50 something on TV channel. I don't watch that anymore because, well, I have a smartphone. Nobody wants to watch TV, right? I don't know. I have a TV. I have a nice TV, but I don't watch that. I haven't watched that for at least 6 months. I just watch TV for the Super Bowl or sometimes maybe Olympics or World Cups sometimes. Only when I'm at home, and that's it. I don't watch TV. But God requires people worship together. Because God ordered in the Old Testament, God ordered people show your body to your God, which means we have to show our body in front of God. That means we have to go to church or temples. Okay? I think that is very important for our religious lives. If we don't go to churches, it's hard to say that we are Christians. Well, we are Christians, but I don't know how we can worship without going to churches. Do you pray 5 times a day? Yeah.
No.
Yeah? Okay. Showing our bodies to God, that is kind of important, so God wants us to worship together. He has not specified any particular day. That is true, right? As I told you. See, the church worships together, especially on Sunday, because Christ rose from the dead on Sunday. So we are celebrating his resurrection. When do we sin against the third commandment? We sin against the third commandment when we despise preaching and the word of God. Okay. Well, that's in general that is right. But what if the preacher is delivering something wrong? There are lots of biased preachers and monks, right? They teach something they want, not what God wants. Then we have to discern that. Because it's the same thing. We want to hear our parents. Maybe some of you don't want. Because we are believing that our parents are saying something good for us. They are supposed to do. But what if our parents are saying something wrong or cursing us? Unfortunately, there are some parents who are cursing their kids for some reasons, or they do more criticize their kids than encourage them, right? Then we have to think about it. The little kids don't have power to, whether their parents are saying something good for them or not. But as time passes, like 14 or 15 or even 12 years old kids, they know what their parents are saying to them, and they know how their parents are taking care of them too. It's the same thing, when our preachers and priests are saying something wrong, we have to cancel that, or we have to ignore that. If they are saying something against the Bible. Well, sadly, that's not happening in this world, because lots of pastors and monks, they I don't know, they have something wrong. How is this done? Okay, we despise preaching and the word of God when we do not attend public worship. Because for the worship, in the worship place, like churches and temples, we can hear God's words, but we don't go there. We don't hear that. Okay, that's one of the way we can despise God's word. B, when we do not use the word of God and the sacraments. Word of God is Old Testament and New Testament in Christianity, and message from pastors and priests. And what about the sacraments? The Holy Communion, the bread and wine we usually get through our pastors and priests. So if we do not use that, we are despising God's word, because Jesus ordered that for his disciples and the Christians. See, when we use the word of God and the sacraments negligently or carelessly, that's another way we are despising God's word. Well, right after Jesus resurrected and he ascended to the heaven, and his disciples started churches. Actually, one church in Jerusalem, but they got scattered to many places, and they traveled to many places. Later on, they traveled to Turkey too, and to the world actually later on. But for the first and second centuries, they started their churches, but they didn't know how to take care of it first. Because churches were new. The Christianity started from, 2,000 years ago, right? 2,000 years ago. That was new at the time. Right? Shamanism must be the oldest religion, but the Christianity and something like that. What? How many years? History in Muslim or Buddhism. It's more, right? That's older than Christianity, I think. So when they had communion, the Holy Communion, which means they distribute bread and wine to people, because that was the kind of part of their meeting. And they wanted to listen from Jesus' disciples, because disciples followed Jesus for 3 years. They traveled together and slept together, and they ate together, and they got preachings from Jesus for 3 years. So when they distribute the bread and wine, they didn't know how many bread, how much wine they need. So they distributed, some of them, but the greedy people wanted to take more. And there was a problem. There was a problem in Corinth, and there was a problem in all the churches. That is against the sea. Okay, so we are distributing little wafer, and kind of a little wine. Well, these are little tiny and small, but we are taking those for remembering. At the same time, we want to just share the same bread and wine. Because a long time ago, for the first and second centuries, they used to. Well, it continued for, I think, 15,000 and more than that. Still, some churches use a chalice for sharing wine. So you can sit once, and the priest just wipe the chalice. I don't trust that, but it's really bad. But he just turn the chalice a little bit, the next person, and wipe it and turn it. And the people just made a line and drink the wine with one chalice. But what if somebody want to drink more? That can make a problem, right? So we want to use the Holy Communion right way. Okay, 40. What does God require of us in the third commandment? Do you want to read it from A to D?
Okay. What does God require of us in third commandment? We should hold preaching and the word of God sacred. We should gladly hear it, learn it, and meditate on it. We should humbly support the preaching and teaching of the word of God. We should diligently speak the word of God.
Yeah, that's the word of God part. So how we can keep the Sabbath holy? And then the concept can be extended to this too. So we want to just take care of the Word of God. We love it. We diligently read it and remember it and try to practice it. That's how we can keep the Sabbath holy too. 41. What do the first three commandments show us about ourselves? That we have sinned and deserve God's condemnation. That means that when we look back our lives, it can be for a week or for a month or for last years and years. Are we keeping the Sabbath so holy? Are we honoring God's name? Are we worshiping the God only? If not, we are against the three commandments, the first three commandments. Well, I think last week we just took a look about sin. Sin means that we are against God's law. Without the law, if we don't have any law, and we don't make any sin, that's true. But because we have laws, we can violate it or keep it. We can make sins or not. Because of the law God gave us, we can notice that we are violating them or keeping them. We are sinners or not. Okay. That's the function of the law, and that's the guidance of our life, and that's the way. That's the way we can feel and love our God. Can you please go to the office and turn as you can turn the AC on? AC on. It's not AC is not working yet. It's too hot. Can you please ask them turn the AC on? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, who alone has kept the law of God perfectly? Jesus Christ. Other than that, we made sins because we violate the commandments. How does Christ's perfect keeping of the law benefit us? Well, he did a good job. how that can benefit us. Since Christ was our substitute before God, our Savior's perfect keeping of the law is part of His saving work for us. And because of Him, we are considered righteous before God. Colossians chapter 4, verse 4 to 5. When the time had fully come, God sent His Son, born of a woman, born under law, to redeem those under law, that we might receive the full rights of sons. Well, I violate a law, and I ask you keep the law. That's ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous. I tell a lie, but I ask you not to tell a lie. That's ridiculous. You don't want to follow that. Okay. Same thing. I don't tell a lie, then I can ask you don't tell a lie. That's exactly what Jesus did. He kept the law right, and He's asking us to keep the law right. Because He kept the whole law right, He didn't make any sin. That's why He could sacrifice Himself for us. What if I'm a sinner and you are a sinners too? We all are in a court, okay? Then suddenly I raise my hand to the judge and ask the judge that I can take all the penalties for all of you. Then the judge will laugh on me. You are the sinner, I'm the sinner, and I'm gonna be sentenced to death or whatever, then how I can get all the penalties instead of you? That's ridiculous. But Jesus didn't make any sin, so he could say that he can die for all of us, and he's gonna get all the sins and burdens instead of us, and he can die on the cross, and he can ask the judge, the God, forgive those people's sin and save them and take them as his sons and daughters. That's the point. Jesus Christ didn't make any sin, and he kept the laws right, and that can benefit us. Besides showing us our sin, what else does God's law do for us? In the Ten Commandments, God shows us that what his will is. Christianity, by the power of the Holy Spirit, are eager to do God's will. Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3. It is God's will that you should be sanctified. Because we notice that we are against the law and violating the laws, and then we can realize that we are making sins and we are sinners, then we can just think about what we have done and try to be a better person. Okay. By doing so, we can be sanctified. Sanctified means becoming holy. Okay. All right, that's the third commandment. Do you have any questions or comments so far? You don't. Finally, we can move on to the schedule. So now we can take care of the commandment 4 through 8. I don't know, we can
AC is working.
I don't think so. Did you ask them to turn the AC on?
What did they say? So I talked to
Yeah, sure, yeah. It's kind of hard, right?
Open the door, open the door.
Choking, yeah.
The outside is.
Yeah, you can do that.
Open the door. Maybe.
Yeah, you can leave the door open. It's choking, right? That is moving, I don't know, that is because of the door or see the light stream? Yeah, usually,
Yeah, they just turned on.
oh yeah? Alright. Usually the classrooms don't have individual AC control. So once they turn that on, you'll be okay, but they're gonna feel cold. They have to move on or move around, to walk around or something. We have about 15 people, but it's too hard. Okay, what's the summary of commandments 4 to 10? That's the second table. Table means what? Or tablet. Do you remember that I just told you that God gave Moses the two tablets of stone, and he wrote the 10 Commandments by himself. Don't ask me how. I have no idea. He just wrote it, or he just ordered it, or I don't know. So he gave Moses two tablets. So one for commandment 1 to 3. That's between God and people. The second table, the commandment 4 to 10, that is between people and people. Okay, it's people and people, but the relationship between people and people. When we do something good on the second table, that is a way of fearing and loving God too. Okay? For example, father can father wants to have a good relationship with their kids. Believe it or not, they do. Are you a father?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? So you want to have a good relationship with your kids?
Mm,
Do you want? You want,
yeah.
right? So when you have a good relationship with your son or daughter,
Mhm.
that's great for you and that's great for your kids. How many kids you have?
Sorry?
How many kids you have?
Me?
How many children you have?
No, only I have my brother.
Oh, okay, you have only brother.
Yeah.
You haven't got married?
No.
No, not yet. Okay. So I have two kids, son and daughter. I want to have a good relationship with my kids. Okay, that's good. That's good for me, and that's good for my kids. Okay. But what if my son and daughter fights? What if they fight? Do you think I'll be happy? No, they can fight. Do you think I'd be happy on it? No. Same thing. I want to see my son and daughter have good relationship. I want to see my son be nice to my daughter, which means his sister, younger sister. I want to see my younger sister, my daughter, has good relationship with her older brother. Last week, my daughter got angry on my son, her older brother, and they fought. They didn't, fight. They didn't fight like that, but they just fought verbally. And my son got mad, and he changed the Netflix. Do you use Netflix?
Mhm.
He changed the Netflix passwords. And he only gave me and my wife the passwords, but he didn't give the password to my daughter, to his younger sister. Because my son is paying the Netflix. I think $16 per month. He's paying for it. He has a right to give or not to give the passwords to people he likes or families. So my daughter got angry on it. They fought on it, again and again. But I just told my daughter in front of my son, don't make don't make your brother angry. Don't make your sister angry. When you have good relationship, He's gonna give you the password right away, so don't worry about it. And my son said, no. I know, son, I know you're gonna give the password to your younger sister soon, but you're not gonna give it to her right away because you got angry too. I believe. Then when I see those things, those kind of things, I feel uncomfortable because they are cute. You know, they are fighting. They can just fight sometimes. As long as they don't fight physically, I think it's okay. But because we are all different, because we all are different, and we can fight. We can fight on something, and we can, But am I feel okay? Well, it's uncomfortable. I want my 2 kids to have a good relationship. Same thing. Father and kids, but brother and sisters. Those are all good for father and mother. Okay. So what's the summary of commandments of 4 to 10? Love your neighbor as yourself. As yourself, well, it's not easy, right? Okay, who is our neighbor? Who is our neighbor? Can you please read it? Hello? Can you please read it?
I didn't see.
You don't see that? Okay. You don't have eyeglasses today? Okay, what about you? Can you please read it? Yeah. You have good eyes, huh?
Our neighbors. As we have an opportunity, let us do God to talk to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. The Bible elaborated the God,
The Good Samaritan.
the Good Samaritan showed mercy to this neighbor.
Yeah. Well, actually, Jesus used to use parables and stories. He, so the New Testament, especially the Gospels, the first 4 books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they have lots of stories regarding Jesus, and at the same time, those 4 books that having lots of stories Jesus gave to people. And one day, Jesus actually just told people that love your neighbor. And some people, asked Jesus, who are our neighbors? And Jesus, just told them this story about Good Samaritan. A guy got tortured and beat and robbed by robbers. And actually the guy was dying. But a priest passing by the guy, and the priest was supposed to help the guy, but he just passed. Okay, and the Pharisees and a Pharisee, because he's the religious leader and actually religious teacher, he just passed. A Samaritan. At the time, Samaritans are like dogs for Israelites, they didn't like Samaritans. Okay? They hate them. But Jesus said a Samaritan was passing by, and he saw the guy robbed and dying, and he helped the guy, and even the Samaritan just helped the guy, and then he just put the robbed guy on his donkey back, and he just traveled with the robbed guy, the guy who got robbed, and he paid for the hotel and the medicines. And Jesus asked the people after this story, who is the guy who got robbed? Neighbor. Yes. People answered, Samaritans. That's right. Who is our neighbor? We have our people, and they are our neighbors. Okay? I have people, and I am their neighbor. Right? How should we love our neighbor? We should love our neighbor as ourselves and show this love by keeping the commandments of the second table. Which means when we keep the commandments 4 to 10, we love our neighbors. Okay. The fourth commandment, okay, let's see the commandments from 4 to 10. The fourth commandment is this: God's representatives. Who are God's representatives? Our parents. Our parents. So God's commandment is this: honor your father and your mother. So if we honor our father and mother, we are keeping the fourth commandment. What does this mean? We should fear and love God. Okay, that's repeating, right? We should fear and love God, so that we do not despise or anger our parents and other authorities, but honor them, serve and obey them, love and cherish them. Do you honor your parents? Do you honor your parents? Do you honor your parents because your parents have lots of money and your parents have good status in this society? What if your parents don't have money? What if your parents don't help you a lot? What if your parents don't support you a lot? What if your parents are low class in this society? Then you don't honor your parents? Well, we can honor people because they are wealthy, they are rich, they have a high status in this society. We can don't honor. We cannot honor who are in lower classes, who don't have money, who don't have house. But parents are different. We want to honor our parents no matter what. Because they are God's representatives. How we can have our lives? Well, some people hate their lives, but most of us, have life. How we could get our lives? Where are our lives from? From our parents. From our parents. So God gave lives. God gave people lives. God gave. He's still giving lives to people, and we got our lives through our parents. To our parents. who are parents and other authorities? Well, we can have different ideas on other authorities because the Ten Commandments didn't mention about the other authorities. But when we expand the concept of the fourth commandment, we can say that we have to honor other authorities too, like our governments, like our employers, okay, something like that. So parents are fathers, mothers, and guardians. Other authorities are all those whom God has placed over us at home, in government, at school, at the place where we work, and in the church. Okay? Those are our parents and other authorities. So we are believing that God gave us particular parents. Well, people can wish that, oh, I wish I can have Bill Gates and Melinda for our parents. Well, which is good, right? We can have lots of money from our parents. But we are believing that God gives us particular parents for us. God is blessing some people, by giving rich parents. But God has a particular reason and plan for each one of us. So He gives particular parents for us. And we cannot, well, we can complain, but that can be wrong, because we have to understand God's plan. Right? So we can understand God's plan for our lives and living environment. By the way, you have a war with crude, right? I know. Is it crude? Turkey is having war. Your country is making war with Syria.
Syria?
Yeah, Syria, right?
Near Syria, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big war right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think about it?
I don't have no idea, because I'm not sure is there any war with Syria, Turkey. I don't have no idea really, because there is not like a war.
It's not like a war.
Yeah,
Then
not like a war. Maybe USA and Turkey war.
Is it?
Really? Yeah, USA with Turkey,
So
not Syria.
So you are
Like a Syria, but
you are thinking Syria is representing USA?
yeah, and Turkey. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, it's a shame on USA. It's a shame on America.
No.
It's a shame on America. Because I think America used Turkey and Syria for fighting against IS. And now the time, the relationship between Turkey and Syria was not good, and America, for fighting against IS, America wanted Turkey and Syria work together and fight against IS, and after that, now Turkey and Syria is fighting, but America is ignoring. It's a shame on America.
These were Recep Tayyip Erdogan's war, not Turkey. Erdogan's family.
So when your country is on the war, do you have to go back to your country and fight, or it's not mandatory? You don't have to? Okay. So Turkey pays for the soldiers, their soldiers, so they are full-time soldiers or?
Full-time.
Full-time? Oh, okay.
Full-time, yeah.
Okay. Like Israel and Korea, Korean guys have to go army for serve the army at least
2 years.
2 years something. I served 1.5 years. Nowadays they are serving 2 years.
It's hard. When you are in the army.
Well, for the training season especially, it's pretty hard. I took 6 weeks training, but I just commute from my home for 1.5 years. But majority of Korean guys just stay in the base, army base, for 2 years. At the time, that was 2.5 years, I think. But they are serving, I think, 2 years only. It's getting shorter. Well, for training, we had to learn many things like shooting or bombing with guns and something like that. I got specialized on I forgot the name, but 35 millimeter boom, kind of a little portable. It's not a rocket, but it's kind of a portable bomb. Just put the bomb from the front and you boom and land on it and explode it. So I learned lots of shooting. But I haven't tried the pistols, the little handguns, because that's only for the kind of high people. I was kind of at the bottom. I started from the bottom. I used to use M16, that's American rifle, and moved on to K2, which means Korean rifle. And I tried K1 Korean rifle too. That Korean army used the K1 rifle for the Korean War, which broke in 1950. It lasted for 3 years, and UN, including Turkey, they just helped us. So we just fought with North and South. So we have North Korea and South Korea, unfortunately. And those are all political stuff. So we didn't want it, but lots of strong countries like America, China, Russia, they split us by North and South. That's kind of a tragedy. So we don't go to North Korea, and North Koreans don't come South Korea. some North Koreans escaping North Korea to China, and they come to the South Korea, or they can live in China, or they can, go somewhere else they want. But we have South Korea has lots of North Koreans right now because they escaped North Korea to China. Do you know the map? So Russia, China, and Korea. Korea is Busan, Jeju Island, China, Russia, and Japan. And so north, this is south and north Pyongyang. They can escape to China and come to South Korea. That's because of the Korean War. I just mentioned that Turkey helped the South Korea to fight against North Korea at the time. So Turkey has a good relationship with Koreans. Koreans like Turkeys, and Turkey people are the Koreans too, I think. Because we thank for the help, during the Korean War, what happened in 1950. What does God require of us in the fourth commandment? Honor your parents. God requires us, A, to honor our parents and other authorities by regarding them as God's representatives. God sends us, our parents, for happiness, for nurture us, for raise us, right? Without our parents, we couldn't survive. We couldn't survive because our moms gave, fed us with their breasts and washed us, provides clothes and many other things for many years. Many years. We have to thank for that no matter what, right? We are survived. We are survived because of our parents, especially our mothers. And we are living in our countries, America, Turkey, Japan, China, whatever, because and our countries are protecting us too. Well, some countries are torturing their people too, but that's sadly. But basically, our countries are protecting us. Okay. Well, sometimes I don't understand why Martin Luther expanded the fourth commandment to the governments. Well, we can honor our parents, but why we expanded the concept so we can honor our governments? I don't like it much, but 500 years ago, because he wrote that book in 1529, and himself and other people added those stuff. One by one, because they were thinking those are important, so they add along to explanation part on top of the small catechism itself. And at the time, the government was important for them. If the government or their kings or territory lords, when they fail, when they got failed, they had to lose their people, and their people had to move to other places, or they got tortured by others. So, in that concept, the governments at the time was very important for their lives. Well, nowadays our governments are important because they are protecting us. At the same time, what if we lose our government? We're gonna lose our countries, right? And who's gonna take care of us? We're gonna be wandering here and there. That's what's happening in Europe. Lots of people are escaping their countries because they couldn't get any protection from their governments and countries. So they had to move to other countries as refugees. It's kind of hard, right? So think about it. B, to serve our parents and other authorities by gladly providing what they need or require. C, to obey our parents and other authorities in everything in which God has placed them over us. Because parents have authorities. They have authorities, right? In Rome, in Greece, Rome, can you imagine it? At the time, the fathers in Rome, in Greece, long time ago, the fathers has right to kill their kids and save their kids. For example, I have in Greece, Rome, long time ago, I'm a father, I got a baby, or I got a children, right? Little kids or whatever, no matter what. They don't respect me, they don't follow my direction. I can kill my kids, and there was no problem. It was not against the law. Can you imagine that? Well, nowadays, fathers and mothers don't have authorities to kill their kids. Not at all. But still, parents have authorities to do something for their kids, or not to do something for their kids too. Okay. So parents have authorities, and children are supposed to respect their authorities and honor their parents too. But we're gonna just take care of some little things later on. D, to love and cherish our parents and other authorities are precious gifts of God. Yes, they are. What promise does God attach to this commandment? That it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. Long life means what? Yeah, you're gonna live up to 100 years or something? No. When God promised, when you honor your parents, you're gonna have a long life. That means that when He mentions long life means that He guarantees literally long life and safe life, healthy life, and happy life too. Okay? God is not promising that you're gonna have a long life with long sickness. No. And that is torturing, right? So God said, when you honor your parents, you're going to have a long life. Means not just long life, but at the same time, happy, safe, enjoyable life you can have for a long time. Right? The fifth commandment. God's gift of life. God's gift of life. So, Mom, it's a friend. Can you please read it?
You shall not hurt.
What does this mean? We should fear and love God so that we do not hurt or harm our neighbor in his body, but help and support him in every physical need.
Okay, the fifth commandment is that do not murder. Do not kill others. Okay? But are you okay because you don't kill others? What if you kick somebody's body? What if you hit? What if you torture others? What if you don't supply food when they are hungry? When they are dying for hunger? So that means do not murder means not only you are okay as long as you don't kill others. Well, actually, but you have to protect others too. When they are hungry and when they are dying, because people are dying at this time too. I think people are dying in several seconds. One people are dying in a minute, maybe shorter than that. People are dying, but we are ignoring them, even though we know the fact. It's against in the fifth commandment. When we torture others' body and others' people, then that is against in the fifth commandment. So we cannot say that we are okay because we don't kill others. So what does God forbid in the fifth commandment? Like abortion. Well, this is kind of a hard part. Aborting a baby when they are in mother's body. The living but unborn are persons in the sight of God from the time of conception. So once a woman has a baby in her womb, God is thinking that is the person. Some people are saying that when a woman has a baby in her womb, that's not a person yet until the woman gives the baby, gives the baby birth up. Or some people are saying that up to 3 months, the fetus is not a person. After 3 months, from the 4th month, we can call the baby in a woman's body is a person. So some countries they have different laws. Okay. So in some countries, when you hit a woman, when somebody hit a woman with his car, and the woman died, and a baby in her womb died too, but the baby was 3 months younger, then the person killed only one person, mom, not the baby. They don't count the baby in the body. But some countries, the person killed 2 people. because they count the baby in the in the woman's body. Okay, that's kind of tricky. But God is counting the baby as a person as soon as they got conception. Since abortion takes a human life, it is not a moral option except to prevent the death of another person, the mother. So we can let the baby's life go for protecting the mother's life. So it can happen. Euthanasia, the severely handicapped, infirm, helpless, and aged persons in the sight of God with life given by Him and to be ended only by Him. Suicide, my own life, is a gift of God to be ended only by Him. Okay, so suicide and euthanasia must be against in the fifth commandment. Well, I understand the people who make suicide, who kill themselves. I understand that. Have you ever thought about the suicide before? I did. Some people got so hard from many other things, and they dream and they think of suicide too. Do you think killing yourself is easy? I think that is pretty hard. That's pretty hard. Well, lots of, I don't know, it's kind of statistics things, but guys' success rate is higher than women's success rate on suicide, because guys usually use more aggressive way to kill themselves. But imagine, can you imagine that how, if that is pretty hard to kill, by kill oneself is hard for you. We can imagine how much hardships they had. So they kill themselves. We have to have compassion on them, right? Euthanasia. So when you have a handicap, they are still human. You don't want to kill them because they are ugly, because they have severe handicaps. Let's say I have one normal kid, one handicapped kid. I love both, but I have to care more on my handicapped kid, right? That means I have to love that handicapped one. Then think about God. God, there are lots of people who, normal people and handicapped people, and then He's gonna care more the handicapped people. Right? He concerns more, right? He cares more. Then we are not supposed to despise them, or let them kill themselves, or let other people kill them, or ignore them. That's not God wants. B. God forbids us to hurt or harm our neighbor physically, that is to do or say something which age may destroy, shorten, or make his or her life bitter. Well, you don't kill people, but what if you say something, you curse somebody, so the person can get hurt in heart and got depressed and cannot live the normal life and even kill oneself. Then God will ask the person who says something wrong or cursed and ask the person take the responsibilities on the person's death. So saying something harsh or N-words or criticize with no reason, even though if there is reason, that is too much, you have responsibilities. A woman celebrity, I didn't know she, her name or something, but she killed herself with depression. I just saw her face for time on the internet because of the news in Korea. She's tall, beautiful, wonderful actor, but she killed herself. Why? Why she got depression? Because she got bad replies and cursing replies on her SNS, and she got depressed. She gave up the celebrity's work as an actor or actress. And who killed the actress? Who cursed and criticized without no reason to her? And they are all murderers. And God, I believe that God will ask those people to take responsibilities on her death. Okay? That's what I think and I believe. And that's what the commandment is saying. Okay? So watch your mouth and fingers. Does anyone have authority to take another person's life? Yes. Lawfully government, as God's servant, may execute criminals and fight just wars. But the government have to try not to have that kind of wars and fights. For saving the country's people's life, at the same time, the enemy's lives too. And in the United States, we have death penalties in some states, and in some states we don't have death penalties. Depends on which states we have. So death penalty is kind of harsh. That was popular. But that's no good actually. Killing, death penalties, and killing the criminals by injecting or hanging or shooting. What does God require of us in the fifth commandment? We should help and support our neighbor in every bodily need. Yes. We should be merciful, kind, and forgiving towards our neighbor. we should avoid and assist our neighbor in avoiding the use of drugs and the use of any substance that harms the body and the mind. So think about it. It's not only killing. It's not only killing the commandments wants. It's just minimizing or the commandment cares what we are saying, what we are doing. At the same time, the commandments want us to do something actively, proactively, to help others. That's what the fifth commandment. I think we have to stop here. Trying to catch up, but so we're gonna just take care the 6th to 8th next week, and then we try to catch that up. Have comments, questions?